before it became a symbol in history books, before it was reduced to dates and footnotes, the Paris Commune of 1871 was a living, breathing revolution, born in hunger, fear, hope, and defiance, unfolding in the streets of Paris like a dramatic storm that would shake Europe and echo across centuries. In 1870, France collapsed under the weight of defeat in the Franco-Prussian War, its emperor captured, its army shattered, its people humiliated, and its capital surrounded by enemy forces. While inside the besieged city, families survived on rationed bread, horse meat, and even zoo animals, wrapped in blankets against winter cold, listening to distant cannons and wondering whether their nation was dying. When peace was finally signed, many Parisians felt betrayed because the new government, led by Adolphe Thiers, accepted harsh terms and agreed to pay massive war reparations while relocating its headquarters to Versailles, far from the angry working-class districts of the capital. To the people of Paris, this felt like abandonment. During the siege, ordinary citizens had organized themselves into the National Guard, a citizen army made up of workers, shopkeepers, teachers, and artisans who bought their own cannons and defended their neighborhoods, believing they were protecting both their city and their dignity. When Thiers ordered troops to seize these weapons in March 1871, especially on the hill of Montmartre, everything changed. Soldiers hesitated, crowds gathered, women stood in front of the cannons shouting at the troops, and in a moment of moral collapse, many soldiers refused to fire on civilians. 2 generals were captured and executed, and the government fled in panic. Power suddenly and unexpectedly fell into the hands of the people. Within days, Paris elected its own revolutionary government, the Commune. It was made up of journalists, metalworkers, doctors, school teachers, printers, and political activists, many influenced by socialist, anarchist, and republican ideas. For the first time in modern history, a major city attempted to govern itself through radical democracy, where officials were elected, paid workers' wages, and could be recalled at any time. The Commune immediately began transforming daily life. They abolished conscription and replaced the standing army with a citizens' militia. They separated church and state, ending government funding for religious institutions. They introduced free secular education. They canceled rent debts accumulated during the siege. They returned abandoned factories to workers' cooperatives. They banned night work in bakeries. They supported women's organizations and recognized the role of female workers and nurses. Red flags flew over public buildings, symbolizing a new social order. For a brief moment, Paris became a laboratory of social justice. Cafes turned into political forums, printing presses worked night and day, newspapers debated the future of humanity, public squares filled with speeches, artists painted revolutionary murals, workers discussed philosophy and economics after exhausting shifts. The city felt alive with purpose, as if history itself had moved into the streets. But beneath the enthusiasm lay dangerous weaknesses. The Commune had no unified military command. Its leaders argued constantly on strategy. Some wanted to march immediately on Versailles and crush the government while it was weak. Others hesitated, fearing civil war. Valuable time was lost. Financial institutions like the Bank of France were left untouched, allowing the government to access money. Communication with other cities was poor, and revolutions in Lyon and Marseille were quickly suppressed. Meanwhile, Thiers was preparing revenge. He negotiated with Prussia to release tens of thousands of French prisoners of war. He rebuilt his army, trained new troops, gathered artillery, and waited patiently. By May 1871, he had more than 130,000 well-equipped soldiers ready to take back Paris. The final assault began on May 21st. Government forces entered the city through an unguarded gate. What followed was one of the most brutal episodes in modern European history. Street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood, Paris turned into a battlefield. Communards built barricades from paving stones, furniture, wagons, and iron rails. Snipers fired from rooftops. Cannons thundered through narrow streets. Houses collapsed. Smoke covered the sky. Men and women fought side by side. Nurses carried ammunition, children served as messengers, workers defended factories as fortresses. Entire families stayed behind barricades, knowing defeat meant execution.
In desperation, some communards set fire to symbolic buildings, including government offices and palaces, hoping to deny them to the enemy. This was the Bloody Week. From May 21st to May 28th, the army advanced relentlessly, executing prisoners on the spot. Anyone suspected of supporting the Commune could be shot without trial. Bodies piled up in parks, streets, and courtyards. The last major resistance took place at Père Lachaise, where fighters made their final stand among tombstones and mausoleums, using graves as cover before being overwhelmed and lined up against a wall for execution. By the end, more than 20,000 people were dead. Tens of thousands more were arrested. Many were deported to distant penal colonies. Families were destroyed. Neighborhoods were traumatized. The Commune was erased by force, and official France tried to bury its memory. But it failed, because the idea survived. Karl Marx called the Commune the first dictatorship of the proletariat. Socialist movements across Europe studied its successes and mistakes. Trade unions, labor parties, and revolutionary groups drew inspiration from its courage. Artists and writers transformed its story into legend. For generations of workers, it became proof that ordinary people could challenge power, even if only briefly. The Paris Commune lasted just 72 days, yet it changed political history forever. It showed that a city of workers could govern itself. It proved that social reform could move from theory to practice. It revealed both the beauty and the danger of revolution. And it demonstrated that even in defeat, a struggle for dignity could leave a permanent mark on humanity. It was not just a rebellion. It was a dream made real, burned down, and remembered forever.